Okay, 30 types in 30 days. It is now day 14, and let's look at Genesis chapter 40. As we look at Genesis chapter 40, this is a very concisely packed Christ story. It's actually quite wonderful. Joseph has been accused of something he did not do, and he is suffering for it in a terrible way. He says himself that he has been thrown into a pit. He undeservingly has been thrown into this pit in verse 15 is what he says. And so that's where we find our very righteous protagonist thrown into the pit. But even here, he continues to serve in the best possible way he can, doing everything right. God continues to bless his action. While he's in here, he comes into contact with none other than a cupbearer and the baker. We don't get their names. We only get their professions. It's their professions, for some reason, that's important for us. And while Joseph interprets their dreams, he tells them both. They have these strange dreams about what's going to happen to them. They want to know what they mean. Joseph says, tell me. God will interpret. God does interpret through Joseph that the cupbearer's dream means that in 3 days he will be freed from prison and restored to his rightful place at the side of the most powerful man in the world, which is who Pharaoh would have been at the time, the most powerful man in the world, and he will be doing the job that he was doing before, which is putting the cup into Pharaoh's hand. The baker hears this, feels favorable about it, relates his dream to Joseph. Joseph says, unfortunately, your dream means that in 3 days you're going to wind up dead, hanging on a tree. Now, right there, we find the Christ story packed in. We have our protagonist, like I said, unjustly suffering in this pit. And in this process, he comes into contact with this cupbearer and baker. One, in 3 days, will be raised back up from the place where he came from to the right hand of the very most powerful man known, very most powerful person there is. The other one, in 3 days' time, will be hanged on a tree dead. The Christ story being told, the 3 days, the death on a tree, the restored back to the most powerful person's side in all known world. And so we have the Christ story being told in this perfect way. And why a cupbearer and a baker? Isn't it obvious? The baker dies on the tree because the bread has to be broken. He's a baker. The bread is broken. But the life, we're told in Leviticus, the life is in the blood. It is Christ who is restored. The blood itself, because of the blood, which is the life, restored back to the side of God. So, beautiful pictures. Talk more soon.